Okay, so for today's video, we're going to take a look at adding and subtracting decimals. So to do this, we're going to use a method that we used in one of our previous videos, which was actually the column method. If you want to check that video out, I'll leave a link in the description and a card in the top corner. So for this first example, I've got 1.7 add 2.5. So to use the column method, we're going to start with 1.7. We're then going to add. I'm then going to line this 2.5 up in the correct column. So I've got the 2 in the units column, and then I've got the 5 in the tenths column. So just like when we've used the column method before, we're going to start from the right hand side. So to begin with, I'd have 7 add 5, which is 12. So we'd have a 2 in this column, carry over the 1. We'd then have 1 add 2, which is 3, add on the 1 we carried over, so that would be 4. So our answer for this one would actually be 4.2. Right, for this next question, we've got 13.5, and this time we're going to take away 4.9. So again, lining up the columns correctly, I've got a 4 in the units column, point, and then 9 in the tenths column. So again, with subtraction also, we start from the right-hand side when using the column method. So to begin with, I've got 5 take away 9. That would actually give me a negative, so I'm going to move over to the next column, borrow from the 3, so that would become a 2, and then I take the 1 over to this column. So I've now got 15 take away 9, which is 6. We've then got 2 take away 4. Again, that would give us a negative, so we move over to the next column. We borrow a 1 from there, so that now becomes 0, and the 1 goes in front of the 2 to become 12. So now we've got 12 take away 4, which is 8. And then we've got 0 take away nothing, which would be 0. So our answer to this one would actually be 8.6. Okay, we've got some more examples to try now. Feel free to pause the video here and have a go at these, and we'll go through the answers in just a few seconds. Starting with this first question, we've got 5.8. We're then going to add on 11.3. So I've got a 1 in the tens, a 1 in the units, and then we've got our 3 in the tenths column. So again, starting from the right-hand side, we've got 8 add 3, which is 11. So 1 carry the 1. We've got 5 add 1 is 6, add another 1 is 7, and then 1 on its own, so that would just be 1. So our answer for that one would be 17.1. Moving on, for this one, we've got 12.7, and this time we're taking away 4.3. So again, starting from the right to begin with, we're going to do 7 take away 3, which is 4. We've then got 2 take away 4, which is going to give us a negative, so we've got to borrow from this 1, so the 1 becomes 0. The 1 comes over here, so now we've got 12 take away 4, which is 8. And then we've got 0 take away nothing, which would be 0. So our answer for this one would be 8.4. Okay, for our next question, we've got 123.45, and we're going to add on 74.21. So being careful to line the columns up correctly, we'll have a 7 in this column, a 4 here, then our decimal, and then 2 and 1. Okay, so again, starting from the right, we've got 5 add 1 is 6, 4 add 2 is also 6, 3 add 4 is 7, 2 add 7 is 9, and then 1 on its own would be 1. So the answer to this would be 197.66. And moving on to this next question, we've now got 235.81, and this time we're going to take away 127.42. So again, we start from the right-hand side column, but if we look, we've got 1 take away 2. Again, that would give us a negative, so we've got to borrow 1 from this 8, so that becomes 7. The 1 comes over, so now I've got 11 take away 2, which is 9. I've then got 7 take away 4, which is 3. We then have 5 take away 7. Again, that would be a negative, so we borrow from the next column along. 3 would become 2. The 1 moves over, so now we've got 15 take away 7, which is 8. We've then got 2 take away 2, which is 0. And then finally, we've got 2 take away 1, which is 1. So the answer to this would be 108.39. So well done if you followed those questions, okay? These questions have been where we've had the numbers to the same amount of decimal places. So now we're going to take a look at some more difficult examples where we've got numbers to different decimal places. So again, feel free to pause the video here and have a go at these, and we'll go through the answers in just a few seconds. So for our first question, we've got 15 adds 6.07. So we can see our first number, we've got no decimal places, but our second number, we've got to 2 decimal places. What we can do to make this easier writing it in the columns is actually put the numbers to the same amount of decimal places. So for this first example, we'd want them both to 2 decimal places. So I'd write that 15 as 15.00. we then add on 6.07. So now the columns are nicely aligned. We can do like we've done with the other examples, start from the right-hand side. Well, we've got 0 add 7, which is 7, 0 add 0, which is 0, 5 add 6, which is 11, so 1 carry the 1, and then 1 add 1 is 2. So our answer to this first question would be 21.07. Okay, moving along, we've got 28 take away 5.6. So again, no decimal places for the first number, 1 decimal place for the second, so we're going to write both of these to 1 decimal place. So I can rewrite 28 as just 28.0, and then this time we're going to take away 5.6. So a line in the columns, I've got 5 in the units, and then 6 in the tenths. So then as normal, we start from the right-hand side, we'd have 0 take away 6, again it'd give us a negative, so we're going to borrow 1 from the 8, which becomes 7, the 1 comes over, so now I've got 10 take away 6, which is 4, we then do 7 take away 5, which is 2, and then we've got 2 take away nothing, so that'll also be 2. So the answer to this one would be 22.4. Okay, for our next example, we've got 23.4 add 1.027. So we've got the first number to 1 decimal place, the second number to 3 decimal places, so we're going to put them both to 3 decimal places. So we can rewrite this first number as 23.400, add, and then a line in the columns, we'd have 1 in this column, 0.027. So now again, adding from the right, we've got 0 add 7, which is 7, 0 add 2, which is 2, 4 add 0, which is 4, 3 add 1, which is also 4, and then 2 on its own, so 2 there. So the answer to this one would be 24.427. Okay, and for this last example, we've got 90 take away 54.76. So no decimal places in the first number, 2 decimal places in the second number, so we're going to write them both to 2 decimal places. So we can rewrite the 90 as 90.00. We're then going to take away 54.76. So again, just like the others, we're going to start from the right-hand side. So for this first bit, we've got 0 take away 6, which would give us a negative. So then we normally borrow from the next column along, but we have a 0 in that column. So then we have to move over again to the next column, but that one is also a 0. So for this one, we've got to borrow right from the front column. We've got to take 1 away from this 9, so it becomes 8, and then the 1 jumps over into this column. We've then got to borrow 1 from this 10, so that becomes 9, so then the 1 comes over to this column, and then we've got to borrow 1 again, so this 10 becomes 9, and then we finally get a 1 in front of this one, so then this becomes 10 take away 6, which is 4. We've then got 9 take away 7, which is 2. We've then got 9 take away 4, which is 5. And finally, we've got 8 take away 5, which is 3. So our final answer to this question would be 35.24. So well done if you followed those questions okay. And that's it for today's video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. If there are any topics at all that you'd like me to go through next, then please just let me know down in the comments. And I'll try to make some videos on those topics as soon as possible. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.